Referees are a necessity to professional wrestling. They aren't just there to make the 3 count or shout out 2. They're taking cues from the back, they're doing all sorts of things, making sure the match is flowing correctly. They do a lot more than you think. They even botch. A lot of referees actually started out as wrestlers. They went into training, either weren't enjoying being a wrestler, or their wrestling career didn't go to plan, so they became a referee instead, due to the knowledge of the wrestling industry they had, made it easier for them to be a referee. But has there ever been a time where a referee started out as a referee, and then went on to become a wrestler? And let me tell you, yes there was. But not really, and it took place in TNA with a man named Sewell. What's going on, guys? It's Tom or Top 10 Wrestling, and today we're going to be discussing the TNA referee turned wrestler and how it was a colossal failure on TNA's part, and how it just was a failure and how he didn't get over whatsoever. Before we do get into the video though, be sure to check out my Patreon, links down below, for more exclusive content from me, such as predictions, journey of wrestling, reviews coming out there soon, a bunch of stuff coming out there. Got some tier lists planned very shortly for that channel. And yeah, check it out, it would be really appreciated and would really help me during these trying times. But let's stop wasting time and let's talk about this damn referee, shall we?
Greetings and salutations, this is Almighty Christopher Daniels, sometimes known as the Fallen Angel, but always known as the greatest wrestler in the world, your mom's favorite wrestler, your dad's favorite wrestler, the world's favorite wrestler. I'm also a paragon of virtue, an inspiration to children everywhere, and the man with the rear that makes the girls cheer. And while you're watching me, I'm telling you, you're also watching Top 10 Wrestling, so congratulations.
Now, the reason why I say he was a referee turned wrestler, but not really, is because he was actually a wrestler turned referee turned wrestler again. And before coming to TNA, he was all around the block, and he was a veteran before coming to TNA. Of course, we're talking about Sewell, like I already said. He made his debut in the 1990s and first started making a name for himself in the World Wrestling Council in 1995. World Wrestling Council, or WWC, is a Puerto Rican wrestling company owned by the Colon family. For the next 15 years, he'd wrestled between World Wrestling Council and the IWA, winning many championships and becoming very successful, including being a 10-time IWA Undisputed Heavyweight Champion, 2-time IWA Intercontinental Champion, a 4-time Tag Champion there, a 7-time Hardcore Champion there, and in World Wrestling Council he won the Universal Heavyweight title 3 times, the IC title once, the Puerto Rico Heavyweight title 3 times, the TV Championship 7 times, the World Tag Team Championships 3 times, and the Caribbean Heavyweight Championship twice. Jesus Christ, that was so much. And it just shows how much titles he won. It shows how successful he was that I'm out of breath from listing off his accolades. After wrestling in IWA and WWC for 15 years, Sewell would be signed to his first mainstream promotion when he began working for TNA Wrestling in 2008. Sewell at the time was 38 and was a veteran of the wrestling business, so a big purpose of why he was in TNA was to help develop and train upcoming wrestlers. And during this time, he also began appearing as a referee on TNA Impact. Yes, a referee. So this is stage 1, where he's a wrestler turned referee. He became the only referee in TNA to actually gain a character at the time, before Earl Hebner started stalking Madison Rayne and going on the list. But yeah, he became the first referee to really show personality and start defending himself against wrestlers such as the likes of Sheikh Abdul Bashir, who he pushed over and shoved to the floor and, showed that he was a former wrestler and beat him up a bit. There was major tension between Sheikh Abdul Bashir and Sewell for months, and every time Sewell just happened to be the referee for a Sheikh Abdul Bashir match, funny how it worked every time that he was always the referee, there'd always be some conflict, whether it be Sewell pushing him to the mat, or Bashir ripping his shirt off and fighting him, etc, etc. On the November 13th episode of Impact, during an X Division Championship match between Eric Young and Sheikh Abdul Bashir, the champion, Shane Sewell, who happened to be the referee, stopped a 3 count, and as a result, they had a conflict, and Eric Young hit a Death Valley driver on Bashir and won the match and took his title off Abdul Bashir. But then Jim Cornette reversed the decision due to Shane Sewell getting involved just a week later, and then at Final Resolution, Eric Young and Sheikh Abdul Bashir would face off again for the title, and once again, Shane Sewell was the referee. Why is he being allowed to referee after last time? And he helped Young win the title yet again. And then after the match, Bashir beat down Shane Sewell and busted him open very badly. And then on January 8th, 2009, after getting involved with Sheikh Abdul Bashir's matches, Shane Sewell was kayfabe fired as an official after another confrontation with him. However, Jim Cornette announced that Shane Sewell had now kayfabe been hired as a wrestler and would face Bashir at Genesis, the first TNA pay-per-view of the year, and yeah, the match happened. And we're now at the second stage. Shane started off as a wrestler, went to a referee, now he's a wrestler again. So he is now a referee turned wrestler, hence what the title says. So this match was a bit it was okay-ish. Shane Sewell did of course beat Sheikh Abdul Bashir in 10 minutes and 18 seconds. It was an okay-ish match. The issue is it had to follow Alex Shelley versus Chris Sabin, which was awesome, so that was already hard to follow, but I don't think this match was going to be that amazing in the first place. As well as that, all the builds to this match had been in the Impact Zone. It was a pretty popular feud within the Impact Zone, and then they go to Genesis where it's a separate city. They go to Charlotte, North Carolina, so it wasn't really too over with the crowd there. Then on the Impact following Genesis, he would officiate a match. So he was fired, but apparently he wasn't fired. And we're now at stage 3. He was now a wrestler, turned referee, turned wrestler, turned referee again. And it was during this little run as a referee where they just reran the feud with Abdul Bashir, except they put Booker T instead of Abdul Bashir. They literally had the exact same storyline, just with a different person. And it would lead to Against All Odds, where Booker would defend the Legends Championship against Shane Sewell. So Shane Sewell, he's got a huge match here. It's his first championship match, and spoiler, his only championship match. This match was not that good, and Booker T won, and Shane Sewell, after this, very much fell down the card. It seemed maybe they were going to do something with him, now that, you know, he has a title match, but no, not really. But luckily after this, he didn't go back to officiating, which, thank bloody God, he was just a full-time wrestler now. After this, he would win a 6-man tag on Impact, where him and the Latin American Exchange defeated Abdul Bashir, Magnus, and Matt Morgan. He would then lose to Matt Morgan 2 weeks later. Then he would compete in the Captain's Gauntlet match, where he was very quickly eliminated by Kurt Angle. And that would be his final ever match, because on May 22nd, 2009, he was released from TNA. What a bust. You know, after the Booker T thing, they could have at least kept him around for longer, had him do more things. He could have done more. You know, he's a decent wrestler. But nah, they were just like, nah, we're just going to release him because we've ran out of ideas for him. They used up the referee storyline twice and thought, okay, we've done all we can with him, see ya. And that is the story of Shane Sewell in TNA, the wrestler turned referee, turned wrestler, turned referee, turned wrestler again. Jesus Christ. And yeah, after he did leave TNA, he went back to WWC, where he obviously did a lot better for himself. That's it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, be sure to smack that like button. Gonna have some videos coming out shortly. Got some really awesome stuff planned. Let me know what you want to see in the comments down below. Subscribe with notifications on. Like the video for more. I'll see you all soon. Goodbye, and keep on rolling.